Good morning. My name is Michael Flory. A couple of weeks ago, we were digging through boxes of old photos we'd accumulated over the years, and we came across a picture from the baptism of my now 15-year-old daughter, Rebecca. And Rebecca looked at that picture and she said, "Hey, how come I'm in that weird church? How come I wasn't baptized in my church?" Well, then we had to explain to her that in the spring of 2000, we moved temporarily to the Weyerhaeuser Chapel because the sanctuary here was being renovated and the social hall downstairs, as we now know it, was being constructed. So, yes, it has been 15 years since we've done anything to our very wonderful but old building. The session has now approved moving forward with a capital campaign. Lynn Indahar and I have agreed to be co-chairs of that effort. This week, in the mail, you will receive a very large, colorful, lovely brochure that introduces to you our capital campaign. I'd like to walk through a couple of the highlights about what this is about. So we have three items that I think urgently need to be addressed. The first is deferred maintenance. Our old lovely building is leaking like a sieve and it's causing damage. We need tuck pointing, we need a new roof, we need to ensure the structural integrity of our building. We'd like to explore debt reduction. We still owe a fair chunk of money on the mortgage we took out from the last renovation, and frankly, the debt payments constrain our ability to do God's work. Paying down the mortgage will free up funds for operating mission and works and justice and all the things that we value, and we'll be able to do more of that if we have less mortgage. The third is improvements and upgrades. We'd like to reduce the carbon footprint of our congregation. There are things we can do installing energy efficient systems. There are technology outreach upgrades we're looking at to kind of bring our congregation into the 21st century. And so those are some of the things that are introduced in this brochure. So I'm sure you're asking, what can I do? The first thing that you can do is please don't throw this in the recycling. Read the brochure, bring yourself up to speed with what's going on, and then most importantly, there is a survey here, and we'd really like your input. So for those of you over the age of 100, there's a handwritten survey. You can fill it out with a pen or pencil and stick it in the offering plate. We're happy to receive it that way. It's also available online through a SurveyMonkey. If you have trouble with that, find one of our 13-year-olds and they'll help you figure that out. But it's online, and we would love to hear your response. The other thing that you can do is come to one of the informational meetings that we will be holding. The first is going to be Sunday, May 3rd. We're going to have a special worship time, 10 a.m. worship like we did on Easter, and then move right into a congregational informational meeting to discuss the capital campaign, and then we will flow from there directly to a wonderful potluck. The other two meetings will be the evening of Tuesday, May 12th at 7, and Sunday, May 17th after regular church. Childcare will be provided at all of these events, and we very much encourage you to attend. You will hear information from the committee, and we would love to hear back from you what your questions, concerns, and ideas are. The other obvious question I think that you all may have is why now? And that's a little metaphysical, but I'll take a shot at it. I think it's fair to say our congregation has been focused for a while now on challenges of the moment. We had the financial crisis in 2008, which reduced our budget, was hard on the congregation and on individuals and families within the congregation. We had the departure of our longtime minister, Heidi. a search for an interim, a search for a senior minister. We've been looking at the challenges of the present for a while now. I think the time's right to look to the future. And this is something that we can do to really build the future of the church and move forward. And I think the time is right. In 10 or 15 years, when Rebecca, or if Rebecca says to me, Dad, I'd like to get married, I want to be able to say, honey, of course you can do it at Macalester Plymouth, because the church is in great shape.